All right, welcome back.
What is going on? Welcome back, everybody, to the Sad Boys Gaming Podcast. We are Sad Boys Gaming. And we don't really have a topic. We're going to talk about guns. And I think I think we're still going to stick with that. Just because YouTube doesn't allow us to, so this one might get posted to YouTube. I don't know. But
yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Close enough.
Fair enough. All right. So, I had a situation that has basically been thrust upon me. And I gave Kevin the rundown. I gave Adam the rundown of what was going on. Basically, I have a friend in my life whose wife received a bunch of random messages. Like, she would go to, like, a grocery store or whatever, and all of a sudden, like, the next day, she would get a message, "Hey, you left your debit card here." And she's, like, looking at her wallet, like, I have my debit card, what the fuck? And then she looked, and it was from that grocery store in, like, a different state. So basically what it was is she was, like, almost like they were trying to lure her to that store, to kidnap her, do whatever goes along with that.
Yep.
So that friend reached out to me. He was away in a different state on a business trip and basically told me what was going on, you know, and said, "Hey, if she calls me in a panic, can I send her to you?" And I went, "Yeah, absolutely," because I work right down the street from where he lives. He was like, if anything happens, can I send her to you, to your store? And I said, absolutely. Like, won't be a problem. The issue with that I have with that is that I'm the person that he called for, right? My store, I have gotten at least talked to about. Nothing was officially brought up or investigated or anything like that, because I have my concealed carry. As soon as I got my pistol, I got the class, got the training, I want to say it was like a 16-hour class.
The 16-hour course to get the concealed carry in our state? Yeah,
it's a 16-hour course. And I've been carrying since then. Like, it was literally, I was off on a Thursday. Yeah, that's when I still had Thursdays off. So I went, you know, was like, "Hey, what do I need to do to take the class?" They were like, "Well, usually we do it over the weekends." I was like, "Well, I work weekends. You know, can I split it into 2 different days?" And they were like, "Yeah, not a problem." It was super easy to do. And I'd recommend people in our state go and do it for sure. But I carried at work, and our company, while it doesn't have a no gun policy, we have stickers in our window that say gun free zone. And it was brought up to me. It was like, "Hey, you know, you can't bring that to work. Like, you know, one of your employees said that they saw it, and if they go to HR, like, you're fired, like, you're gone." And I was like, well, here's the thing. My Second Amendment right trumps whatever company policy that you put in place. Like, yes, I signed the handbook, but these are rights that were given to me because I was born here. Yep. And that's my thought on the topic. Like, company can do whatever they want to, but if something were to happen, because we have high-priced items, we sell cell phones, we have consoles in constantly.
You're off a main road.
And we're off a main road to where somebody
high access.
Yeah, could rob us immediately. They're on a main road and they're fucking gone.
Yep.
Granted, our company has good enough insurance that it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. But again, it's the fact that it did happen.
Yeah.
And it could have been prevented.
Yeah. And I have the means to prevent that from happening. I've had the means forever. Like, even at the other store that I was at before I transferred, that was a high possibility. Even though it was a nice area, it could still happen. So I started carrying at that store. Those employees knew about it. They'd known me for a while, so they didn't really care. They knew that if anything were to happen, guy comes in trying to rob us, whatever, they knew that I was there to protect them. End of story. That is my main role. I think that's why I was put here on this earth, is to protect people. End of story. Again, they knew that. Going to my new store, they didn't really have a feel for me yet. They still don't. It was brought up that, I shouldn't carry, so now it just sits in my car. And while that sucks, I still have a knife on me every day. So if anything were to happen, I'm going to go down fucking swinging. But again, this friend called me and said, hey, if anything happens to my wife, you're the person that I'm sending her to. And I went, yeah, not a problem. Maybe a week goes by and he calls me again saying, hey, I am getting increasingly concerned that these people might try to come to the house.
Yep.
And so I said, okay, not a problem. What do you need from me? Now I have this, which is a Smith & Wesson SD9. That's my everyday carry. It's a little bit bigger. It's not really a concealed carry gun, but I'm big enough that it's concealed.
Especially here in the winter time, you can get it under that big coat.
Exactly. Krista has a Glock 43X that I bought. That a situation happened at her work, and I went, you're carrying this from now on then. And yeah. And I also have a 22 pistol.
It's a very nice.
It's a very intimidating weapon until you fire it. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to word that.
Big dog that looks like Rottweiler but barks like a Chihuahua.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. And I said, yeah, I have something that you can borrow. He's shot it a bunch, so he knows how it works.
Yep.
And I said, hold on to this for now. I will put something together. Find out what kind of gun that your wife would like, because if you aren't going to buy a gun, I'm going to make sure that she buys one.
Yeah. Because
you are not always going to be there to protect her. Not only that, but he's yay tall, so he's not going to do much anyway. She is a very fierce woman. She's basically exactly like Krista. From what I've heard, I haven't actually gotten to meet her because he's doing everything he can to avoid me meeting her just because. But it's one of those things that I would rather her have it and not need it. So the gun that she decided on was the M&P Shield.
M&P Shield,
which is what Adam,
which is
what Adam carries every day.
Yep.
So I said, hey, can I borrow it? I'll loan you mine, then I'll take her to the range. She can shoot it, see if that's actually what she wants. Mm-hmm. And he was like, no, I'm not going to let you borrow it. So what we decided on is December 26th, the day after Christmas. The range should be open from what I have been told.
Okay.
I'm going to go there again tomorrow just to confirm yes, you guys are going to be open.
Yep.
And then,
everybody after Christmas has their money and wants to spend it.
Yeah. That was kind of my thought. Not only that, but people get guns for Christmas all the fucking time. Yeah. So why wouldn't they want to go shoot it?
I bought guns last year on Black Friday.
Yep. So the plan is to have Adam, my friend, his wife, Krista, and Kevin and me meet there, have a range day. Kevin has some instructor,
yep.
I guess, qualifications or...
I mean, you can... I wouldn't say, I didn't take courses for anything, but, through... 14 years of Boy Scouts, so we did shooting sports.
Yeah.
And teaching, 5 and up, how do you do archery and stuff. And I've been, kind of into guns since I was 12 or 13. Just doing shooting sports, period.
So
whether it be a BB gun or a 22 rifle.
Yeah, so you have the experience,
handgun,
the time
shotgun.
the hands-on experience to teach somebody how to use it.
Yeah.
So that is our plan for the day after Christmas, is to make sure that this woman who has her FOID card already gets to shoot a variety of weapons that she should be comfortable with, I think.
Should I grab the bag?
Grab the bag.
Okay.
I have a literal fuck ton of targets, so we don't have to spend money on that.
Can't make those jokes. Can't
What?
make those jokes. No, TOS. The thing.
But it's one of those things that, like, we are sure that we have enough experience between the three of us, Adam, Kevin, and I, to make sure that it's done in a safe environment, especially at the range that we're going to, which is a super nice range. To make sure that we have the experience there. I don't know how many stalls we're gonna have to rent. Probably like 2, maybe 3. Who the fuck? I don't
Probably
really
3, because I think they limit each lane to 2 people.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't care. We'll have everything set out for her, so that way she can get a feel for it and go through basically the basics. And then while we're there, have her, peruse, find one that fits her hand. That's, for some reason, that's how guns work for me. It's not about, recoil or anything like that. It's how it fits in my hand. And I know everybody's different. So that is the main goal. So, like, my SD9 fits very well in my hand. I like it. I think Corey's going to buy it, so that way I can buy the Glock 43X MOS, which is the gun that I want, so that way I can never head outside.
My Glock 17.
Mm-hmm.
Shoots extremely straight. I love it. The recoil's good. Never had an issue with it.
See, I was trying to be one of those guys that never bought a Glock.
See, now,
and then I fell in love with them, like, right after
like
buying the 43X.
Yeah. I was like, so when I turned 21 and got my FOID card, I was like, oh, let me, go buy my first handgun. I walked into Classic Guns, which unfortunately isn't around anymore because the old smith had passed away who owned it. And he was like, well, what firearm are you looking for? He immediately, seeing me walking in, I mean, I was 21, so I had the beard. I had, like, long, scraggly hair at the time, whatever. And he was like, do you want a Glock? Because, all the kids nowadays wanted Glocks. I was like,
cool
actually, I was looking for a 1911. So I have a 1911 by American Tactical. It's the GI model, so it's slightly shorter barrel. And it's great. No complaints. It just works.
Gun.
Clear, no magazine.
Ain't nobody gonna fuck with it. Pop right in fucking mind.
Yeah, no, it was great. And then after that, I bought an AR. Didn't have anywhere to shoot an AR, so I traded in for a Taurus revolver, 7-shot, clear, and it's great. It single action, double action trigger. I get a lot of flack for whatever, but it's whatever. Yeah, all my guns are clear. This I picked up. TJ loves this one.
I love that gun. I want that gun so bad.
Yeah, so this is the an Italian police trade-in that I bought for, I think it was $500 online. Got it shipped to my local FFL and did the $40 transfer fee. It is in 32 ACP or 32 auto, or 7.65 something. I can't remember exactly, but it's
Gumby's
is
asking what was the revolver in.
the revolver is in 38 special and 357 Magnum.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah, no, this is 100% probably my favorite gun.
Yeah, I loved shooting it. I shot it one time, like
Yeah, we went to the range and you went through one or two mags and just this is the straightest, most level shooting gun that I have. I mean, I could
the recoil on
brighten
it
up the sights and stuff, but like it's practically no recoil. So it's just so great. It's got a ambidextrous safety. It's I can't say enough good things about it. It's,
like I want one. I don't know if it would be my everyday carry just because ammo is fucking impossible to find, like unless you're shopping online. But yeah, and even then it's expensive.
Yeah, no, it's
thanks, Greg, for the tier 1 gifted.
Yeah, no, it's
Merry Christmas, Gumby.
It's wonderful.
The
Glock's nice because
can we pull Gumby in here? Because I know Gumby's a big gun guy. Can we get him in here too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Gumby, jump in depression, and we'll drag you in.
Yep.
If you're able to, because I know
if you want to.
I know that he's been a gun guy for a while. I know, like
Yeah.
Okay.
Hurry the fuck up.
5 minutes. That's no. I mean, we'll keep it rolling. But yeah, like those are like like granted the revolver she's probably not gonna like just because.
Yeah, just because of what it is. I mean, it's she might want a revolver. That's a good example of a revolver.
Yeah, like Krista also has one in 38 special. That's a little bit smaller than that. That might fit.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This is just a full size revolver.
Yeah.
Full J frame, and it's got the 5-inch barrel. I mean, I don't have like the 7-inch, so it would have been coming out to here. But still, like, it's a good intro for it. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole situation. That's kind of why we're talking about guns for the most part. Is like, there's such a massive stigma right now about firearms, and it's ridiculous. And I remember growing up, Kevin, you were involved in Eagles or Boy Scouts and everything like that. Yep. I never got that chance. I didn't grow up with somebody that had guns or anything like that. I would visit my my cousins down in Missouri. In Missouri, you're like, hey, does anybody have? And then they just start firing into the air before you even finish the question. Yeah. So like, I think that was like my first exposure to firearms when I was younger. And then I remember high school. I want to say it was my false junior year because I didn't actually have a junior year. Yeah. After an orienteering meet with ROTC, my brother-in-law Kevin picked me up.
Not me.
Yeah, no,
not that one.
And I was like, "Hey, what's going on? Like, what are we doing?" He's like, "Well, I figured, you're about that age that, we should probably go shooting." And I went, "Oh, really?" And we went out to somebody's property that, middle of fucking nowhere. And we went clay shooting, and that was awesome. Literally off the rip. Shotgun up, boom, first one out of the sky.
Clay
and I was like,
shooting is a good time.
Wow, I'm really good at this. And then I missed the next 7, but whatever. But that was like my first like hands-on, somebody teaching me what to do. Like, granted, I already knew, the fucking booger hook off the trigger, point it in a safe direction, like the basic firearm rules that Alec Baldwin doesn't even fucking know. Yeah. So it was one of those things that, like,
Hands up in the sky, Pilgrim.
Yeah, like I was okay. I think he had a 22 revolver and then a 22 rifle that was not great. And that wasn't sighted in either. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really cool experience. And then I have always been of that mindset, is that I love guns. I don't like firearms. And to me, those are two different things. Yeah. Firearms is something that you use, to defend yourself, whereas a gun is something that, from my perspective, because I'm a massive World War II nerd, guns are something that you learn about. I remember I had this book that I think my mom got me. It was like that thick, just filled with all types of weird gun facts and like the history of them. And I love that book. I think she still has it at her house, but like that's what I love to learn about, was stuff like that. And I didn't really have any interest in shooting firearms until I know I'm probably going to get flamed for this fucking hard because with what happened, but the show Sons of Guns, that was an amazing show. It was on for like 2, maybe 3 years
on the Discovery Channel.
Yep, and it was awesome. It was about this, small gun shop owner that like they build really cool weapons. It was almost like the Chopper show,
American Choppers, or
something customs. But like where they build like this cool whatever for a specific client. Like one was a Browning 30 cal that was shoulderable for this, like a guy that makes Johnny look small. Yeah. And he was like dun, 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 like shooting a 30 caliber machine gun. Greg, go ahead and pull him in. There he is. Gumby, do you have a camera?
Yeah, actually, my stream's actually going right now too.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome Gumby stream to the Sad Boys Gaming Podcast. We appreciate you being here. Yeah, Gumby, what experience do you have with firearms? I know that you live in Indiana, so
I'll say been around them all my life. Never. I'll say I think I've been shooting them since I think I shot my first gun when I was 8.
Yeah. So, and it's one of those things that like I feel like a lot of people that I know personally grew up with firearms. Like they grew up with them in their house, with their dad or cousins or whatever, like would take them hunting. The only time that I ever went hunting was with my cousin that was like 6 months older than I was, and we went bow hunting and sat in a fucking deer stand for 6.5 hours and saw literally nothing. And I was like, "Oh my god,
that's what happens. You just get skunked sometimes." Yeah. Man.
And then we got down. We were sitting on the ground, and then like literally like 150 yards away from us, this buck just walks by. Like maybe 10 minutes after we got down, and he went, "You've got to be fucking kidding me."
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Like he was pissed. Why is it gonna be 2 squares?
I'm trying to get my camera turned on.
Oh, okay.
It's not one to work right this second.
Try turning it off and turning it back on again.
Yeah.
What camera do you have? Is it like is it the Logitech?
Yeah, it's a 922.
Yeah, you gotta launch the Logitech software.
Already launched.
I don't know.
Yeah. Also, make sure that it's the correct. Hit the drop down on like the turned camera and see if it's on the actual correct like Logitech capture.
Yep.
So the actual webcam.
Oh yeah, that's probably.
That might be it.
But yeah,
yeah, I can't. I forgot. It's on my streaming tower. This is my gaming tower. I forget I have 2 computers sometimes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we just kick him out because he couldn't get a camera?
No, I think he backed out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Greg, I know that I've been talking with you about purchasing an AR from you, and your dad as being
a bitch. Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things too, where like I also want to build my own AR. And
I'll help you build one. I built mine in 300 Blackout.
I also want to build an AR pistol, because AR pistols you can take across state lines, whereas SBRs you cannot. Like so that's the thing, right? So I didn't really get into guns until like probably 2 years ago, I think, is when
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like I got my Floyd. I just had it forever, and I didn't do anything with it. And then, like last year, I think is when I actually purchased my first firearm, and then from there, just got whatever. And then, like now, like I have to constantly wait for the fucking 30-day waiting period that Illinois has, which is a pain in the ass.
I have a guy over here that like does it like as a side job. So I mean, if you don't want to have to deal with Illinois bullshit,
I mean, it's one of those things that like I definitely want more, just because like
I never have enough.
I didn't think going to the range and shooting would be like the coolest thing that I wanted to do all the time. And
I love it.
Yeah. And like the big problem is like, so I've been involved in paintball for forever, so is Greg and Gumby. But it was one of those things that driving an hour to a field, playing for 6 hours, and driving an hour home, like that's a full day thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I live 35 minutes from a range.
Yeah, 35, 25, depending on traffic.
Yeah, and it's an hour of my day. Like, unless I want to pay for longer. Like, and it's a skill that will always...
transferable.
Yeah, will always be getting better and will always be necessary. I think. And I remember being the guy that played paintball that was like, why would you spend $1,300 on an AR and you can't even shoot anybody with it? And again, that's when I was ignorant about guns and I didn't really know anything.
You can.
But you can do it one time and that's it.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
You can pull it more than once.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like...
if we really want to go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of those things that like I myself was just ignorant about it. And now that I've gotten more involved in it and I've researched laws and I've researched, stuff like that, like there is zero reason why I shouldn't be able to own a suppressor other than the government says no. That's
no, just pay them a
state government.
State government. Even federal government's kind of like,
well, do you really need it?
I'll say if you fill out the proper paperwork and give them a bunch of money, then you can pretty much do whatever.
Yeah,
truly all they really want is that $200 tax stamp. So that's all it is.
Yeah, and I'm okay with paying that, but also first time
I spent more money around. So I got a SME, a sound mitigation device, instead of a suppressor. So instead of suppressing it, it throws it forward so it's not next to my face.
Okay, that's fair.
So
I mean, it's still one of those things that like I like, and I know that it's not like the movies where it's like in video games.
But I mean, like it definitely.
I don't think it is.
It gets it down to a point where you're not going to have hearing damage if you're shooting.
I also don't think that it should be up to other people to decide what I should or shouldn't own.
Absolutely.
That's my biggest thing, and that's like one of the things that like one of the like the coolest people that I follow on YouTube is Colian Noir. I don't know if you follow him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Love that guy. I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
But
I watched the interview that he did up in Inglewood, which is hilarious because when he did that, like literally that day, he did it in front of the Inglewood sign, which is right on the west side of 94 off of 63rd Street, which is hilarious because I would go to the train yard right off of 63rd Street on the east side.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's awesome. He was right down the street from me.
Yeah, like it's one of those things that like he's one of the biggest advocates that I have seen recently.
Oh yeah,
that is still going as strong as he is.
Absolutely.
I mean, granted, I don't know the nuances of every bill and everything like that comes through, And I would read through that information if it was more available to me, like other than I have to dig through a bunch of crap about how they're giving money to regular other people. And it's like, I don't care about that. I just want to know about the part that you're trying to take rights away from me. That's the biggest thing that I care about. Because, like, COVID has been kind of a perfect example of compliance does not get you anywhere.
Yep.
And we're seeing that in Australia for sure. The absolute wildfire that is Australian riots that have been suppressed by their government is insane.
Yeah.
I'd say, did you see the thing, like people like trafficking like fast food
What?
in
No.
Australia?
No, I didn't hear about that.
I will find the article.
Okay.
But like,
no, I didn't know that was a thing.
It's one of those things where, like, U.S. government officials are constantly like, oh, hey, like, we need more gun control, more common sense gun laws. Absolutely. I'm all in favor of that. The problem is the common sense that they're using is coming out of their ass and doesn't make any goddamn sense. We have background checks. We have, like, everything that they're asking
New
for.
Zealand. There we go.
Okay,
Sorry,
it was New
not-
Zealand. We have...
Okay.
What's up? Oh, we have all the things that they're asking for.
Yeah.
But the people that are committing crimes with guns, people that are doing mass shootings, are either A, buying them legally anyway.
Yeah.
Or getting them from somebody that bought them legally and stealing them from that person. Like, that's how that works. At least as far as we've seen in the last 2 years of mass shootings, has been nothing but people with illegally owned firearms, people that there have been, like, hey, like, we should check on this guy because we feel like he's going to do something dangerous, and then it's just completely ignored by the channels that they have in place to take care of it.
Wow.
Holy
crap.
I don't have it up, so I don't know what it is.
Okay, so the headline is Men Caught Smuggling KFC and over $100,000 cash into lockdown area of Auckland, New Zealand.
Why did they list it in that order?
I don't know. The police photo shows 3 buckets of KFC chicken,
great.
10 boxes
Bro, they
of
had a huge
coleslaw,
bust.
Yeah, I love how
4
they say
large
it's a lockdown.
four large KFC bags filled with other items and large amounts of cash. Apparently, it was 2 men, aged 23 and 30, are gang associates who allegedly did a U-turn and attempt to flee when they saw the police at the checkpoint. So yeah,
I still don't know why they listed it. KFC and $100,000.
At the time of the arrests, Auckland was under Alert 4 level, which meant that cafes and restaurants were closed and food delivery services such as Uber Eats were not allowed to trade. Auckland is currently under level 3 and ended its 4-week lockdown midnight on Tuesday. So apparently these guys were smuggling. Basically, they were doing illegal Uber Eats because they were on super lockdown. And to be honest, I think they saw an opportunity to make some money.
Entrepreneurship right there, baby.
Goddamn right.
The worst thing they did was deliver KFC to people. Come on.
And also, I feel like they added the gang associates into that just to add
The gang associates to make them seem like violent people. Motherfuckers were just trying to make $1.
Yeah, delivering.
Yeah, I mean, like the
KFC.
fucking 100K.
Delivering KFC, 100K. That obviously they were doing pretty good delivering with having 100K in the car.
Granted, we have no idea what the 100K is actually associated with.
They
But-
listed in USD,
Yeah.
and
Who knows? Either way, like, what Australia is going through right now, like, leads me to believe that the U.S. should step in. Because we saw all of this before. This has happened before.
Yeah.
And it happened in the 1930s, 1940s, Germany. Like, I know people are like, you can't, like compare the Gestapo to the police that are doing their jobs today. It's like, well, no, you can.
Yeah.
If you look at the, I guess, the motive behind it, and that motive is silencing and stifling people.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening now. And I have no problem saying that out loud, and I have been told to shut the fuck up multiple times before, and I have said no. Like, this is what is happening, regardless of whether or not you feel the same way, is your own opinion, obviously, but this is mine. Just yesterday, I had a very rough conversation with my sister because
butting in real quick.
Yeah.
So if it is 100,000 in New Zealand, it is about $68,000 US.
That's still pretty good profit.
Yeah.
They didn't spend that much on KFC.
You don't know that.
I can tell you that.
Bro,
okay. So I deliver to KFC for my job. It's what I do. The average amount of KFC for weekly, like their charge is like maybe 8K, like weekly from a few different stores.
Okay.
So,
but yeah,
like,
so
it's good profit.
So I had a very heated conversation with my sister because I just found out that my cousin died due to COVID. I don't fully believe that because he was older, overweight, had high blood pressure, shit like that. Comorbidities, basically. Things that would have led him to die sooner. And she kind of went on the soapbox rant of, oh, well, this is why you need to get vaccinated. I was like, I'm still not vaccinated.
Oh, there
he is!
Yeah. Hey!
Oh, I gotta go rip my camera off my streaming tower.
But I was
also, you can change your background as well.
Oh.
But I was like,
it took me long enough to figure this out. We'll stick with this for now.
I'm still not vaccinated. I've been exposed like 8+ times, and I have never gotten it. Most recently, I was exposed, secondhand exposed last week. Tested negative, totally fine. I've had an upper respiratory infection because Krista got sick, then she got me sick because that's how relationships work.
Living, yeah.
Wasn't that like 2 months ago? Wait, was that time like 2 months ago or some shit?
No, that was literally like a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
and I'm already over it. Like I still have a cough, but that's because I do things that I shouldn't. But
and again, like I said, in the chat, like some people are just immune to it. Like you just built different.
Yeah,
build different.
Yeah, no, fucking. Yeah, no, my friend had it. And he was, serving at the bar, but, he was a fucking workaholic, so whatever. So I went there, spent like literally 8 or so hours at the bar with him. He had it like the whole time. Enough alcohol, I didn't get shit.
Not only that, but like, so our company is like introduced like a mask mandate, like you have to wear one because we have people watching our cameras. If they see you without a mask, you are more than likely going to be fired. And I just kind of listed my whole history for my boss of like, yeah, no, I don't give a shit. Yeah. I haven't really worn one throughout this entire pandemic, and I'm still completely fine.
Yeah.
And for the people that are like, oh, well, that's, that you're not a medical person. You're right, I'm not a medical person. But you who are vaccinated, had your boosters, wear a mask, wear a face shield, and then wrap yourself in fucking bubble wrap. You should be 1,000% safe from me, right?
Okay. So, getting to that. So the people who, obviously, yeah, it's a thing, okay?
Absolutely.
But the people
I'm
who
not
are
denying
wearing
COVID
a mask,
at all.
the people who are wearing a mask in their car by themselves.
Yes.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? It's your car. There's nobody else in it. You don't have to wear it.
Or the people that are walking down the street.
Yeah, outside with nobody around them, they just got a mask on. I get it. Now it's cold. It's a good idea to probably wear the mask, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
I dropped a link in general for the mask-alike where they just take a photo of your face and put it on the face mask.
Yeah, I've seen those.
That's awesome.
All right, I'll be right back.
God damn it. But yeah, like it's I love that we went from government is overreaching on firearms to now people that are obsessed with COVID and acting like they have the moral high ground are just insufferable.
I'm vaccinated. That's why.
So I'm vaccinated too. I don't have my third shot.
I'm better than you. It just means I'm better.
Like that's the thing. Like my company might start a thing next year. I know that it's been stopped in a few states because it is unconstitutional for a company to enforce an OSHA whatever for the government on their employees. Like you're basically they're basically saying that your employer needs to police you on whether or not you're vaccinated, which actually is illegal and has been stopped by the Supreme Court for now. But I mean, the fact that one of these vaccines was recalled due to issues with it makes me not trust it at all. And my sister's point was, well, you got vaccinated for all the other diseases. And I went, yeah, that's because there was years of science to back that up.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with getting vaccinated against those. She's like, well, COVID's basically SARS. And I went, then why did they come up with a new name and 5 different variants for it? It's to scare people. It's to make you feel like you're not safe in your own home. Well, it went all over the world, and yet it's only killed 2% of people. I'm going to be completely fucking honest with you. I'm going to keep it a straight $1.50 with you. There's too many goddamn people on this planet anyway.
Yeah.
It's time to thin the herd a little bit. At least that's, again, these are my opinions. I'm not saying these are the opinions of Sad Boys Gaming. I'm not saying these are the opinions of the other people sitting here with me. These are my opinions. This is how I feel. This is how I felt for the last decade of my life looking into politics. It's like, you know what? If we could get rid of all of these 1%er people up here, I think we'd be better off.
But again, like with those, they're never gonna die. They have too much money to.
Congress needs goddamn term limits. And you know what? I'm gonna fucking say it. Lego, stop including stickers on your fucking Legos. Print it on the fucking brick like you meant to. I'm so sick of getting an awesome Lego. I got one in the fucking living room that I built the other day. That was the What If series from Marvel, where it's if what is her name? Agent Carter, if she got the super soldier serum and Captain America didn't, so she became like Captain Britain or whatever the fuck, which, God, that would be terrifying to have Britain as a superpower in the world again. But, you know, it's one of those things that, like, it's cool, like armor plating and stuff like that, but then you have to cover it in stickers. No. I'm not going to put stickers on my fucking Legos.
What happened to that time when you actually had to paint them? When you actually wanted something right.
Yeah, right? Or like, what is it? I ordered the Mandalorian Lego armor set, which I'm super excited for. It comes in a few days.
Nice.
The helmet for the armor is completely wrong.
Is it really?
And it pisses me off. And I didn't notice it until like I looked at a review for it, and so the helmet is gold, the horns are black. And there's only 4. And there's only 4 of them. There's supposed to be 5 across the top.
Yeah.
And it's 4 that come out the sides. And they're black, which is like, it's just...
That is an awesome notification sound, by the way.
Whoops.
Mine's just Jarvis notifying about a new message. It's pretty great.
I would say Kelly there gets a little bit bitchy at times. I swear to God. All I hear is that going off my pocket. I was at my grandfather's one day, and he heard that go off, and he started looking around thinking someone else was in his house.
Just pulls out a shotgun. Who the fuck else is in here?
Just gotta sweep the house real quick.
I'm like, I had to pull my phone out, and they go, "Don't worry, Grandpa, it's just my phone."
What'd you say? Fucking turns around, blasts him.
Shoots the phone out of your hand.
God damn it, Grandpa.
I really need to change that.
You've been hunting with Dick Cheney, haven't you?
I'll say my ringtone's something even better. Hang on, maybe I can play it. If you all can guess it.
Is it, hold on, is it going to get us DMCA'd?
I don't don't think so. It's for a PlayStation 1 game years and years ago. I don't think so.
I think we'll be okay from a game.
Sony's kind of a fuck.
Yeah, but it's great.
Yeah, my phone won't let me get to it right now. I swear I hit Androids.
I remember on my Note 9 after I watched the Hellsing Abridged series.
Oh, I fucking love it. Bitches love cannons.
All right, here it is.
I don't think it's picking it up.
I can't hear
It's
shit.
It's a siphon filter. I don't know if you guys ever played siphon filter back in PlayStation 1.
I don't think so.
Give me a second.
Oh boy.
Shit, it's not up there.
Oh,
I'll
never
just pull the
mind.
game case out.
Everything's awful.
Yeah.
Well, it's either in my closet or it's in my brother's room.
It's somewhere. So Gumby, what guns do you have that the government should know about?
Well, the government knows about everything I have, but
Oh, well.
anything, I really don't have too many that are actually I don't have any handguns right now. The only ones I have, which actually look, you're sitting next to me, is my nice 30-30.
Oh,
That's
I need to
that's
get a
beautiful.
cowboy gun.
That is my baby.
I need to get a cowboy gun so bad.
Gotta do the flip with it.
Oh,
can't-
dude,
not with-
you
not with this
cannot
thing.
do the
Yeah.
flip with that. That thing is so heavy.
It
You will
is.
break your fingers. Man,
It's a good
no,
it's a good way to go.
I went shooting with my buddy, and we took his dad's 30-30 out. Oh my god. I cut my finger open on that lever action
Worth it.
cuz it was so worth it. I
Then
couldn't feel right for a couple days, but it was good.
Then my 783, Remington 783, it chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. This is my hunting gun.
Makes me so happy.
Heavy barrel with R5 rifling. Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, didn't you
You're
look
gonna
at
be real Lee Harvey Oswald, aren't you?
Yeah,
No.
Kevin, didn't you look at a Creedmoor like the last time that we went to the range and you were like,
Yes, I did. It was the which one was it?
It was like a copy of the Shytech.
Yeah, it was a copy of the Shytech. Yeah, I think they wanted like 2K or something for it, which is a
the
decent.
Ruger?
Yeah, the Ruger. Yeah, it was the Ruger Precision in 6.5.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, and it looked just like the Shytech intervention. Well, they called it the intervention in Modern Warfare 2, but that's besides the point.
So yeah, like that's, I don't know, like the whole gun debate thing, like especially with like my experience at work and stuff like that. But when something goes wrong, not if, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be one of those days where like one of my employees is closing late, they get robbed, and then they call me and they call my boss and they bitch and complain, and my one answer is gonna be for them, man, if only you had a gun.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing. That's the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. End of story. Like that, we've seen it time and time again. The media has constantly refused to cover it. It seems like at this point. But
what was it? It was a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it was. It was about the Michigan. I think it was. There was a shooting. On what is it? A high school campus or
about the kid?
something?
Oh, yeah, that could have
Yeah.
been avoided.
Yeah.
That's on the
That-
school.
Literally
Yeah.
could have been avoided if people actually did their jobs and actually fucking thought.
Yeah.
see, so that's the thing. I know people that went to that high school.
Yeah.
I'm friends with them. I've talked with them about it, and there was this whole thing where I was like, well, how come like there wasn't any armed security? And he goes, oh, there is armed security. I went, then what took them so long?
Yeah.
How did they not catch it beforehand? Like, he was like, oh, they have metal detectors and all this other stuff. I was like, then how didn't they stop him?
The school even admitted to that the day they brought his parents in and everything, they knew he probably had it in the bag.
Yeah, it was the day it happened that he had it in his locker when his parents were there.
No, he had it in his bag when he was in the fucking office with his parents and principal and school administration.
Yeah.
But
and it's...
for some reason, it didn't, like, click to them, like, after, like, he even told the teacher the kid wanted help.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and that's the whole reason. And
not only that, but, like, schools in general have just fucking nosedived straight into the ground. Like, again, with this whole COVID thing, it's really people, like, overstepping what their power is or pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable from them. Like, there was a whole thing where, like, they're going to make it mandatory for kids to get vaccinated. We don't know the side effects of that, so absolutely not.
Yeah.
They're already dumb enough. Stop it.
Like the kids wearing masks all day and then getting kicked out of school for if they remove the mask, like, that's ridiculous. That's not even close to what education's supposed to be about.
You already know schools are meant to fucking breed workers, not fucking thinkers.
Yeah, exactly. But there was, like, there's been several lawsuits brought against, like, school boards and stuff like that about what they're not doing or what they're trying to do, which is in violation of parents' rights and of kids that are in the care of those, the teachers and stuff like
facilities,
that. And I'm very close to this because my mom was a teacher for several decades, and my sisters are now in schools. Like, my sister is the sister that I argued with that has a master's degree in psychology. Like, I put it on her. I'm like, you're supposed to be helping these kids. What are you doing? Like, she couldn't help me. I know she couldn't help me, and that was because she didn't look at the situation how I saw it, and she still contacts me about kids that are suicidal and stuff like that. Because I'll fully admit it. Like, I tried it a few times because I was at the point in my life where I just didn't want to be here anymore. But I'm still fucking here for some reason, and that's part of whatever punishment that I think it's a part of. But counselors, teachers, parents don't see the situation like that where we need to talk to these kids. We need to figure out what the root of the problem is. Not what's going on. Why are you so moody? No, like, have a conversation.
Yeah.
Don't just interrogate them about what's going on. And then you have a kid that, doesn't get the help that he needs because they're like, nah, you're fine. Don't worry about it. And then that kid goes on a shooting spree and they're like, what could we have done to stop it? Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
what happened in the signs we ignored in the child that this happened?
Yeah, or like, what was it? Perfect example was a female student was being harassed by a male student. She went to her teacher. Her teacher was like, hey, he's just a teenage boy. Like, just ignore him. Keeps harassing her, rapes her inside the school. The school did nothing about it.
Wait, is this the one where the kid that a kid that wore a skirt went in the girl's bathroom, no. And then they do that?
No, it's a separate thing.
No, this was a completely separate story. I know which one that you're talking about.
Yeah,
but like there was a female student that was raped inside the school. She beat the shit out of her attacker, and then they suspended her for inciting violence,
for defending herself.
Like, rape is a violent act. Granted, we're probably not the people to talk about this because we're all white males, but whatever.
No, straight white cis men.
Yeah, like this is where I stand shoulder to shoulder with these people that are pushing these agendas that I'm all for it. I absolutely. The kid that raped her should be put in prison because if he's doing it when he's 15, what is going to stop him? When he's 25, when he's 30, nothing is going to stop that kid. Bury him 15? Under the fucking prison and leave him there. Like, same thing with racist. That kid right there, he threw something at a black kid because he doesn't like him because of the color of his skin.
Yeah.
Suspend him. Make an example out of him. I will 100% stand by your side anytime there's an act of racism. And I'll admit it, I was prejudiced for a long time too. But after being in the real world and realizing that everybody is struggling exactly the same, and it doesn't matter the color of your skin, you're still going to struggle. Like, I'm more than happy to stand right next to you against cases of injustice. Granted, that doesn't mean that you can point at me and say, you're white, you're racist. Fuck you. Maybe. Yeah. But no. Like, it's one of those things that, like, now that I've been in the real world, now that I've, you know, had to work several different jobs where I've seen instances of racism, sexism, I've seen it, and I've seen the evil and the hate that it breeds in people. I'm more than happy to stand up against it. Absolutely. Like, when I was security guard at the college that I was at, you know, I saw it all the time. And it was a Christian college. Gumby, I'm getting some feedback from you, which is weird.
Shouldn't.
But
so I'm not hearing anything.
I heard it.
It is very light.
But I worked at a Christian college where these kids, this is their first time away from home, and they're
the fucking shock.
They think that they're being flirty, but they're sexually harassing a female student. And me, the person that is the same age as them, that has been in the real world, didn't go to college really, barely graduated high school thanks to that fucking box of tissues. You know, like, when I saw what they were doing, and I stopped them, and I would go, "What the fuck are you doing?" "Well, you can't talk to me like that. I'm a student here." I was like, "I don't care that you're a student here. What the fuck are you doing? You're grabbing a female, and she doesn't want to talk to you. She's trying to walk away from you, and you're harassing her. Like, go the fuck back to your dorm, fucking lay in your bunk bed and think about what the fuck you just did."
Yeah.
Like, because if you do this in an office setting, you're gone. You're fired immediately.
100%.
They don't care what either side of the story is. You are fired because you're a dude. That's how it works. Oh. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I've seen a lot of shit in my very short lifespan of this lifetime. And
it was a good joke.
That was a good joke. Yeah, that topic is, I think we need to have him on just because.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that a lot of people don't realize, because they go to school, then they're in college, then they find a job in their major, and they don't experience the real world until they're standing in front of sitting in front of HR, and they're like, "Whoa, what did I do wrong?" Like, what do you mean? What did you do wrong? You've been, you know, flirting with the receptionist for the last 6 weeks, and she's told you repeatedly, "No, go away. I have a boyfriend. I don't want to date you."
Yeah.
And you keep putting advancements
pretty
on
mama,
her.
you thicker than a Snickers.
This is a very weird podcast so far.
Hey,
this has been.
It's fine though.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good information.
And granted, again, we're not experts on anything. I don't think.
Oh God, no.
Fuck no.
I can give you good directions around the Chicagoland area. That's about what I'm good for.
I can give you landmarks around the Chicagoland area, and that's all I'm good for.
Yeah.
I can put you in the right cornfield in Indiana.
I don't even know where I'm at half the time.
Yeah, because it looks fucking same. Wait, did I just pass that same truck? No, wait, never mind. What about that cornfield? That cow looks the same.
Look, I forget where I'm going when I'm getting up to walk to the kitchen.
That is 100% fair. I think all of us have that issue, unfortunately.
I mean, that's a fucking big sign of ADHD, though, that I realized. I'm like, yeah, I should probably have got diagnosed a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I'm going to the doctor relatively soon to actually get properly diagnosed. Because when you're working on phones all day, and it's tiny screws and it's tiny connections, and then somebody asks you a question, and then you forget what you're doing for 45 minutes trying to answer them,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go back and you go,
What was they doing?
the fuck was I doing? Like, it's rough.
Get Post-it notes and write down what you're doing.
No, absolutely not, because
That has made it worse.
Get a Post-it note. Get a pad of Post-it notes. Write down what repair you're doing at the time. Stick it on your monitor, and when you're done, take it off, throw it away.
Great, I'm just killing the planet one Post-it note at a time.
Hey, or put it in a fucking note tab on your computer.
But yeah,
That
like,
way you're just using electricity, which is majority of electricity comes from coal in the area. So
Yeah, fuck them.
still killing the environment.
yeah,
Wholeheartedly.
Whatever. It's not gonna matter by the time I'm dead.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I mean, yeah. I hate the government.
We just need to switch to nuclear power. It's cleaner.
Yeah, but you see what happened in fucking.
I mean, but Chernobyl.
Yeah,
Is that what
Yeah,
you're gonna bring
that's because somebody wasn't
Fucked
doing their
up.
job and they fucked up.
Well, but then again, there's also like the nuclear waste of after it's like done, and like the problem of storing it.
Turn it into bombs.
And
Throw it in another country.
That's what we did.
Throw it in the giant litter box of sand
So,
dunes that we have in the
speaking
fucking
about
Middle
that,
East.
They actually have it that there's a big like storage that has been unused. It was made, it
Yeah.
hasn't been used.
There's a storage facility for the nuclear power plant. I believe it's in Finland. That they literally are drilling into bedrock to store it, and then they are sealing it up. I think it's like 5 or 6 miles down under in bedrock for the depleted uranium.
You know those guys are having a great time Spartan kicking barrels down that fucking
Oh,
hole.
absolutely. But yeah, no. But I forget what I was watching, but they were prototyping like atomic batteries using depleted uranium or the graphite, because the graphite's what they're storing. That's holding the radioactive material that they use the graphite for the cooling tubes and stuff. That they could use like a small piece of graphite encased in diamond and basically make an eternal battery out of
Do you
it.
have any idea how many diamond blocks we're gonna have to get off of the fucking Minecraft server to make
Oh,
that work?
so many diamond blocks, but it would be so worth it for eternal power.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but then you gotta
Unlimited power.
look at like the health hazards of that too that could come
Well,
from it.
they would have it like they were prototyping it. So I mean,
Yeah. You guys ever
there's
do
plenty
that?
of things
Like,
to
do you guys
do.
ever just go on a fucking tangent, like of information, like you just download information from wherever, and you have no idea what you're gonna do with it? Like, I learned about how hammerhead sharks are like the most apex predator now because the reason that they have that flat part of their head is because it's like electro sensors that can sense anything in the fucking ocean, like within 2 miles, like. The fucking YouTube tangents of that. I went on for a week straight.
that was one of my YouTube
just a
tangents that I
Star
went on.
Wars tangent for no fucking reason of just learning about the Darth or the fucking Sith universe
Death
and
Star,
the expanded
Oh my God, yeah.
Star Wars universe that I have zero use for because I'm not
You
We're
do.
gonna be great on that one trivia game, okay?
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
like that. So that's the thing. Like, when I was at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, they were playing all the Harry Potter movies. I don't know why Harry Potter goes with every holiday,
Because they have
but it's pretty great that
every
it
holiday
does.
in it. Yeah.
I
But
don't know.
during that marathon, there was also a like Harry Potter like trivia thing going on that there were like you won like the Triwizard Cup for, or whatever the fuck. And again, my sister Sarah and I have the worst superpower ever in the entire world, and that's that whenever I watch a movie, I can remember it word for fucking word, no matter what. and it annoys everybody that is in my life that I watch movies with, because I'm like, do 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 do, and I just, from the music at the start to the end of the movie, I can quote every word for fucking word. And I'm like, oh wow, Sarah, you and I should have entered this, because she doesn't have that superpower, but she loves Harry Potter. I was like, you and I should have entered this. And then we got into an argument on how to pronounce a certain professor's name. And my mom's like, this is why you guys wouldn't win. You'd be arguing for 20 fucking minutes about how to pronounce it. And I was like, that's fair. Like, I still get in arguments with her about Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Wait, what about him?
She thinks his name is pronounced Mace Windu.
No, it's Mace.
And the reason that she thinks that is because there is a line in Star Wars Attack of the Clones that says, "We need your help, Master Windu." And the way that they pronounce Master Windu sounds like Mace Windu. And that's why she thinks his name is Mace. And I went, no, you're fucking wrong. You're not just wrong, you're stupid.
You're extremely stupid.
And she has a master's degree in psychology.
Again, there's several different types of smart that I usually go with. You got your street smart, you got your book smart, then you're just an intelligent person.
And then there's us that have a very high collection of useless knowledge.
Yeah.
That comes in clutch at the most inopportune moments. Not even opportune moments.
Oh, yeah.
The inopportune moments. Somebody mentions a fucking shark, and I'm like, did you know that hammerhead sharks has nothing to do with their conversation? Or like watching stuff on the octopus that can carry coconuts for miles. Why do they carry coconuts for miles? Because they don't know what's out there, and if they get tired, they lock themselves in the coconut.
So
I don't know why I know that. That
I'm gonna go
information's
back
never
a
gonna
little
help me.
bit on topic with this whole random knowledge that we know. So we were playing I was over at my buddy's house. We were playing with his dad and his girlfriend.
Playing what?
Trivia.
Oh.
And she was like, "You guys ain't gonna get this one." I was like, "All right, bet." What tower in ancient times was built, and then people couldn't talk to each other anymore or understand each other?
Tower of Babel.
Tower of Babel. She was like, "How did you know that?" I was like, I definitely just watched this on the History Channel 2 days ago.
Because I've read the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. Like I just love. I miss the old History Channel before it turned into all the reality. Ancient aliens, and
wait,
I mean, not saying that those aren't bad entertainment, but the actual history portion of it.
Morning to afternoon History Channel, or fucking like you get to like midnight or like night History Channel, and that's when it turns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the old Discovery Channel, where it used to be like, let's learn.
Speaking about the Discovery
sea
Channel,
mollusk for 6
Micro
hours.
and Dirty Jobs is coming back.
Yep.
Wait, really?
Yep.
And I'm excited about that.
But yeah, like I've gone on these tangents recently where it's like, this information is never going to help me in my day-to-day life. But what I should be looking up is how do I work on the Google Pixel 6 Pro. Granted, I went through that training already, and I don't give a shit because Pixels are dog shit phones, and if you own one, you should hate yourself.
Yeah. I'll say like no, like
Gumby's sitting there like, I own a Pixel.
Oh, fuck.
Huh?
No, but
Gumby, do you own a Pixel?
Do what now?
Do you own a Pixel?
Do you own a
phone?
Google phone?
No.
Okay, good.
Okay, cool.
Just like the look on his face was like.
So once again, I'm doing 4 different things at once.
He's just zoning out. He's in the zone, man.
But yeah, no, like literally going on like the tangent of like random shit, like the fucking nuclear like waste. Like, why the fuck do I know that? Like, why do they they had a mega project that they were building to dump nuclear waste that hasn't got used.
Yeah.
It was like a $7 billion
Did you guys ever watch the Chernobyl miniseries?
No.
I think it was on.
I don't think I did, though.
I think it was on HBO. Yeah. We watched like 4 episodes of it. We were like, God, this is boring. Holy shit. Like the first episode was awesome because it's like, and everybody's freaking out and they're on fire, and yeah, it's pretty great. After
I've always studied Chernobyl ever since. I'm
Chernobyl?
gonna go. Huh?
Ever since
I'm not that
Chernobyl
fucking
happened.
old.
He's gonna date himself here.
No, I'm not. But actually, since Call of Duty 4, all gillied up.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fair.
10,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
Pretty much, but
50,000, whatever.
Such a good movie. Such a good mission.
goes back onto that thing of random knowledge that we know. It was a YouTube. I just dived into videos.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
of actual
I did too.
shit like that, and it's
Like, did you know that there's a $178 semi-auto shotgun?
What?
Yeah, there's a $178 semi-auto shotgun. It's
Is
not
it an AA-12?
No, it's not great. It's a Turkish
Well,
shotgun, but it's $178.
I think I know what one you're talking about.
I started following this channel called TFB TV, which
I
is
love those guys. Yeah.
like he just did a video on a $178 shot or $176 shotgun. And
Yeah.
it's semi-auto, and I was like, I don't need a shotgun.
Do you want one? I can sell you one of mine.
No, if you're selling that Beretta though, let me know.
Okay.
Tradesies. I would
got
buy
shotguns out the ass.
I would buy that before I bought the 43X MOS.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I love the way that gun shoots. But yeah, this was a very weird podcast. Like we just kind of
That's
talked
fine,
about
though.
we talked about anything and everything. Like, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
how a lot of our podcasts are going to go. The first one was very structured because we were talking about
Yeah.
Battlefield. This
Yeah.
one out the fucking window, and I'm okay with that.
But then again, like, I mean, there's always kinds of different ones, like different kind of podcasts. But like, I mean, like, I feel like it's just what'll work for us, whatever.
Yeah, and
Like,
I feel
and
like
again,
this lack of
we
structure
have, like,
works for us the best.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean,
Mhm.
if we have like a little like small like topic to start off with, like it's better.
Yeah,
Then we tangent off to whatever the fuck.
like again, this topic was guns for the most
Guns.
part because
And we talked about
Yeah.
people smuggling KFC into New Zealand.
and then we just started going off on whatever. But
Yeah.
I feel like this is how a majority of them are gonna go. Like, so much shit happens to me like throughout the week. Like, perfect example, right? We have a deal with a Samsung. Like, we have a deal with Samsung
Mm-hmm.
that when you hand us your phone to repair, it's all OEM parts. It has to be. If anything else is broken on the phone, it's an all or nothing repair. So your screen's cracked, but your back glass is also cracked. We have to fix that. Like, even though you don't give a shit about the back glass, we have to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
If there's any other issues, we have to bring that up. We have to let you know, or we have to just put the phone back together. Sorry, we can't do it then if you don't want it done. Then we have to run it through testing, which requires your passcode. So people
Mine's my face.
people go through like this whole setup thing of, like bringing their phone in. We take down all the information, and then we're like, okay, what's the passcode? And we're like, I have to give you my passcode. Yeah, we have to have that in order to run testing. Well, I'm not going to give you my passcode. Well, then we can't repair your phone. Well, can't I just sit back there while you guys do the testing? No, because that's against our corporate policy to let whoever
People behind,
in the back. And yeah, like it's a whole fucking shit show when it comes to
I mean, I
Samsungs.
got permission because I just had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, he had to poop. So
You gotta go when you gotta go, man.
Don't worry, mine doesn't have a
I went
passcode,
to the
so
back.
it's fine.
I walked in and then I walked out when I was done. It was a good time.
I'll say, bro, like nobody's gonna get anything off my phone. There ain't shit on there. Like they'll get foot pics, so that's about
So
it.
here's the other part of that, right?
Yeah.
When we test your phone, we connect it to Samsung servers.
Yep.
Which means Samsung has access to everything on your phone.
They already do.
I have been involved twice
Mhm.
with FBI and police forces coming in to get the phone that we just fixed. Like, we connect it to the server after it's fixed. all of a sudden there's a cop at our door going, "Hey, is there a phone here for whoever?"
So, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you know them? Are you picking up their phone? No, we got contacted from Samsung security division that there are explicit images on this phone of minors, so we need to take this phone.
I was gonna.
And I go, what the fuck? And because we don't look through your phone, we don't. Everybody is convinced that we're gonna look through your phone. Here's the thing: nothing in your life is important to us, so we don't care. You don't matter that much for us to look through your shit. I'm sorry, you just don't. We have 90 other things to fucking do. We don't care about what's on your phone.
Yeah.
However, part of the user agreement that you sign is that if it connects to the Samsung server like that, they look through everything. Like there's an algorithm that looks through your phone. It doesn't matter if it's an encrypted file, whatever. They just bulldoze right through it. They don't give a shit. You're using their software. They have the right to everything on your phones. End of story. Yeah. So I'm like, hey,
here's a fun way around that. Don't be a fucking pedophile.
Hey, I will tell you right now, Samsung phones though, great. I ran this over with the semi truck. Nothing fucking wrong with it.
But like,
what was their name?
It was. Can't give that information out, but
yeah.
But it's one of those things that like I had no idea what to do. Like it was like, and they both happened when I worked at like the first time that I worked for the at Oak Lawn.
Oh, okay.
When I wasn't a part of the company that I am now. This is when they were still, whatever.
Oh, what they were before.
Yeah, and I go, what the fuck? And I asked my manager, I'm like, hey, apparently Samsung contacted these guys. And he's like, yeah, we've had that happen a few times. And I'm like, why are people pieces of shit? Like, what the fuck is wrong? Yeah. So they take the phone. They wait until, like, we still have to call the customer, like, hey, yeah, your phone's all done. Come and get it.
Yeah.
Ha. And that's our phone call. And then they show up, they get arrested, and they're taken away. And we never see them again. And we don't get paid for the fucking repair, which is bullshit. But
what the fuck?
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that it's like,
it's all right though.
Wait,
you
do they take
did
the phone
your
too?
Huh?
What?
Do they take the phone too?
Yeah, they take the phone.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
but
evidence.
Like Samsung reimburses us for the part, or like they learn like
or the labor. Or whatever,
so like the people that run all of the security side of it, they don't talk to the people that are a part of like the
parts department.
Yeah, or like that work with us. And then eventually there's a memo sent out like, hey, yes, this company did use this part. Don't worry about it.
No.
And don't ask fucking questions. Just reimburse them for it. And that's as far as that conversation goes, is what I've heard. And yeah, like the fact that has happened to me twice is insane. And the fact that I worked with a guy that got fired from one store for looking at pictures on somebody's phone, sending them to himself, and he still worked at the other store, blew my fucking mind.
Wow.
And she was 17.
Oh.
What the fuck?
I don't know what happened to him. He might be dead. I hope so. But that like he didn't think anything about it, and then she got the sent receipt on like her iPad.
Oh shit. Wow,
Yeah.
what an idiot.
Like you work for a company like ours and you don't.
I mean, you have to know you're being watched, and you gotta know sending that
like,
shit.
You're gonna put a fucking back in 5 minutes sign up on the door, go to the bathroom, knock out a few knuckle children, and call it a fucking day. You're never gonna see her again. Who the fuck cares? People are fucking stupid.
I'll say it again. Common sense is not that fucking common anymore.
Nope.
But like, yeah, it's and then like when he told me about that and he's trying to make me feel sorry for him, I'm like, you're a pedophile. And he's like, no, know? And I'm like, but you are, though.
But you are. Just admit it.
And he's like, no, I didn't know that she was I was like, but you're still a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like, just because you didn't know doesn't make you less of a pedophile.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm like, there's no explanation that's going to get you out of this. The fact that you still work here and that I haven't beat the shit out of you already.
Yeah.
Those are extremely high numbers. Like, like I think you should leave. But I had to work with him, and I went to the owner and I was like, hey, like, did you hear about this shit? And they're like, yeah, we know about that shit. We're trying to hire new people so we can fire him. And I was like, okay.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He's just a body right now, okay?
Pretty much.
He's not a person.
Like right now, so my boss is not even looking at our district. He's in charge of a district in like central Chicago and in Indiana. Like he's not watching over us at all. And like fucking dumb bitch number 1 got COVID. Dumb bitch number 2 is going on PTO. Like, bruh. Like, most companies don't even allow PTO like around the holidays.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. Like, you should have used it earlier during the year. Granted, I get to take a day just because I'm taking one day. Granted, I have my schedule figured out to where I have 5 days off, which is awesome. And if my employees complain about that, I'm going to go, I fucking checked with all of you to make sure that it was okay. Like, I can't wait for tomorrow. And if my employee is there that is bitching about me constantly, I'm going to go either say something to me right now or shut the fuck up. Because that's how it works. You either confront a problem or you shut up.
Or you shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, don't just snake around behind somebody's back. It's like, hey, Kevin, I think Greg kind of sucks. Hey, Greg, how's it going, man? You're doing great.
How you doing,
I
buddy?
fucking hate people like that so much.
If
there's an issue, fucking make it fucking out in the open and present. Don't. If I'm doing something wrong,
so
if
Kevin,
if you don't like something, that's something.
Kevin, you're saying that right now, right?
Yeah.
So if you get sent an email, that is sent to everybody in your company, but specifies something like, "Hey, just so you guys know, if you guys are doing this, don't do that." Do you automatically think, "Hey, that's probably me. I should stop doing that"? That's why I got fired from the college.
Really?
Yep. I worked there for a year. I had a 3-month review. My boss fucked off and got a better job. And then a year later, I get called by my boss and he goes, "Hey, you need to come in so we can have a chat." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, not a problem."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're going to have to let you go." And I went, "For what?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, we've been sending out emails hinting to you that you've been doing this wrong." And I went, "That's not proper leadership."
No. You
hinting in an email instead of going, "Hey, Tom, you're fucking up. Stop it." That's 2 completely different things. And I'm in this situation right now where my employee is going, "Tom's not doing this." And then when I'm like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" He's like, "Hey, today's pretty good." That helps literally nobody.
Like diverting and everything.
Yep. So then,
stupid.
like, I've already told my boss, I go, the next time I see him, this is going to be my exact words. If he goes to HR, whatever, fine. But if he doesn't say anything to me, he needs to shut the fuck up. If there is a problem, tell me. If there is a problem and he goes to you, tell him to shut the fuck up. Yeah. He's like, "Well, I'm your boss. You can't tell me how to handle it." I was like, "I don't care. Tell him to shut the fuck up and come to me."
Yeah.
Like, we were on a meeting today, and after that meeting was over, 30 minutes after it started, by the way, and I'm off today.
Yeah.
Him and I are talking about this, and that employee joins the meeting. And he heard us, like, trying to strategize, like, "Hey, what's the best way to handle this?" And he took that as we're plotting against him. No. You know what's happening now? I'm moving stores again. Just to have him happy. And I said, I was like, hey, if I'm the problem, sure, move me. But his previous 2 managers, like, and he brags about this. He's like, oh, I've survived every manager that's been here. And it's like, that's because they don't want to work with you anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're a piece of
Same
shit.
thing with a lady I worked with.
Really?
She was at the company 40-something years.
Yeah.
No, she was there at 40 years when I was there. No one wanted to
About
work
60.
with her. Huh?
Now it's 60 years she's been there.
She
But
might be
it was
dead.
just-
Who knows?
You know what? I don't wish this on people, but I hope she is. She cost me my job. I worked in a receiving dock. I'm like, I had a cake job.
Yeah.
We can make it
And-
happen. Still
It's
quick.
like I had a cake job. All I had to do was unload paper trucks, stack paper with a big clamp truck, and work on some skids every now and then. Simple.
Yeah.
Until I had one day to where my boss was gone.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the receiving dock with another useless person that didn't want to do her job.
Yeah.
And I had
Lot of those.
15 trucks outside that had to be loaded or unloaded. And I was having heart palpitations at the time. I was freaking the hell out.
Yeah.
So my bosses decide, oh, you need help. I'm like, yes, finally you get it.
Mm-hmm.
So they go grab her because she used to be the manager back in the early 80s. I don't get it.
60s.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
Back when disco was cool.
She was at the company.
What do you
She was at the
mean,
company.
when?
Yeah, she was at the company for 40 years when I was there,
Yeah.
and she was already like 73 or 78.
So
Oh, geez.
she's like on her way to a
She's-
coffin. Got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
One foot in.
So, yeah, and it's like she like, oh, I'm back here to help you. Then they never took her out. She never left. So the people up front were fucking ecstatic not to have her up on the machine.
Oh yeah.
So she got back there, and I'm like, I'm doing my job. My job is to load up the mills,
Yeah.
unload trucks, stack paper. I'm always back there moving big rolls of paper around.
And then he
Mhm.
hit her.
And she goes, why aren't you up here doing this? Not my job.
Yeah, because I got 15 other things to do, and that's not in my job description.
Yeah, and I'm literally at because one thing, my bosses didn't give a shit about me because I pointed shit out
Yeah.
constantly, and it would always be,
Paper's
well, I
on
need
fire.
this. Hey, this is wrong. Anytime something happened, I ran to an office because of her. She's like, well,
Yeah.
why are you always up in the office? Why are you always talking? Why are you always running the bathroom 15 times a day? To get the fuck away from you for one.
Because I have kidney
Yeah.
stones, Janet, and they fucking hurt.
I mean, I have other medical issues that deal with that on that another problem. But
Yeah.
Bro, that's fucking
like-
Granny Smith. The fuck you talking about?
she is always like this, that. Then I'm like, one day I literally thought I was having a heart attack. This is why I give her down in a monster to walk into a stressful environment.
Yeah, I'll do it to you.
And I was there. I'm literally screaming. This is the one day I screamed at my boss because you have not done nothing. I was
Yeah.
about ready to threaten him with a hostile work environment when my chest started hurting.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I have to walk away right now. I should have collapsed on the floor is what I should have done. And got carried out
Yeah.
of there. But it was actually, yeah, I would have got carried out of there. Weston would have been the one to show up to get me and laughed at me for being on the floor. But she literally would, every time I would not be doing something that she thought I had to be doing. I literally go to my boss several times and went, give me a printout of what my job is. Oh, we'll get that to you. Never. Then
Yeah.
never. Then one day I hurt my back and I got out. Then they found their back door to get me out the
Yeah.
door a year later.
Yeah, like I have printed out several times like what my job description is, what my duties are, and then what his job description is, what his duties are. And he's like, well, how come you're gonna go, disappear for an hour on marketing runs? And I went, well, if you look at fucking number 3 of things that I'm supposed to fucking do, it's go out and make business to business connections, so that way they send us customers.
Yep.
Go fuck yourself. And he's been like, well, I never see you make marketing bags. And I go, that's because they're already in my car. Because I'm here an hour before we open.
Yeah.
And I have other things to do throughout the day. So I make them, and then I take them to my car, because I'm like, I know that I'm going to do them today. I have to go do them
Yeah.
today, or else I'm going to get written up. Not going to let that happen. Marketing runs. Any bitches and complaints about that? But, oh God, I can't wait to just...
Well, I like
Shoot
my
'em in the
job. I
face.
don't really have to talk to people.
Other than jump over a counter like a
about that.
fucking hoodlum.
Hey,
What the fuck?
yeah. Oh, okay. So this one store is in the mall that I have to deliver to.
Mhm.
There's no key. I don't have a key for the back door.
Why not?
It's in the food because they just don't have one for me. It's in the food court of the mall. On the paperwork, I showed Greg earlier. It says no key. Driver just go into the food court and hop the counter. And I feel like a hoodlum every time I have to do it. It's just like
Your foot
man,
catches-
I feel like I'm doing something really bad, but it's my job.
Your foot catches, you just fucking fall over and knock everything over.
Oh no, I just sit up on it and then spin. The first time I did it, like the hardcore, like 2 hands planted and
Yeah.
everything.
You were like, I'm
Fucking
too old for this shit.
I
Fuck
was
that.
like, I ain't doing that again.
Fucking pulled something and you're like, ah, fuck. Okay.
Yeah,
My
I was like,
groin!
oh,
My groin.
back.
Holy fuck.
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, we've been doing the podcast for like 2 hours. Should we cut to Battlefield?
We can cut the battlefield.
Are we
yeah,
feeling
yeah.
Battlefield? Gumby, you gonna join us on Battlefield?
Yeah, I'll join you, but you gotta give me a few minutes to move my camera back over to my
Yeah, no,
tower.
yeah, you're good.
Absolutely
Yeah.
fine. We're probably gonna take a 10-15 minute
Yeah,
break. Real
Yeah,
quick.
10-minute break. So yeah, this has been the second Sad Boys Gaming podcast featuring Gumby, who is now moving at 2 frames a second. But
Windows 11 right there.
Are you
baby.
on fucking
Yeah.
dial up? The fuck are you
he's
doing?
on Windows XP.
That's me kicking on my string tower again.
XP,
and
no, it's Vista, bro.
Vista, bro. All right.
I made the worst mistake upgrading to Windows 11. I swear to God, I did.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's fucking
Yeah.
awful. You
It's
should have asked.
horrendous.
It's almost like you have a friend
I
that
did it
works in
day one.
technology.
I literally did it day one, and I fucking regret it.
So we'll be right back, and yeah, Greg, if you want to change the stuff over.
Yeah. Oh, also, Discord is not muted, like in your like starting.
Oh yeah,
soon
it wasn't
into our
muted
text
in
room.
your chat.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
we
fine.
heard you the whole time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
didn't realize that till later.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's fine. We didn't say anything bad.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back.